train, and I've been working on analysing more of the data from my PhD study to look at themes to do with autistic experience. Here we go. I do have a seat. I've just come out into the vestibule so I can talk to you without annoying everybody else. There's a theme around social navigation. So my field notes record a kind of constant, conscious social navigation. I'm always trying to figure out how I'm seen and how I'm presenting myself and how those things change and how they ought to change. And keep those little bits of field notes where I'm talking about how I'm being seen in this setting or how I was seen somewhere else. And I'm noting my failures in the social space. I say things like, I fundamentally cannot make small talk, or I say I have to turn small talk into something bigger. People are describing me as intense, and that being described as intense. Oh, there's the train manager speaking. But I'm nearly home. That being described as intense is something that I share in common with a lot of autistic women. But for me, that intensity goes with engagement, that preference for proper big talk over small talk is an expression of that intensity. You could look at it as a form of autistic authenticity, and I'll put the researchers somewhere around here, where my engagement stems from that genuine connection rather than a performance or social niceties. And that's partly why I'm good at some of the bits of work that I'm good at, and it's also why I fail in social spaces. That description that I'm giving of it as failure is a reflection of internalized ableism, where I'm viewing autistic forms of communication as kind of lesser than non-autistic ways of communicating. And as I look through the field notes, I can see how my awkwardness in social situations is revealing the kind of social dance around me. Anytime I misread tone or get my timing wrong, it's like a little glimpse of how the structures of that social world work. And non-autistic social conventions shape belonging so that those of us who fall outside of those conventions don't feel a sense of belonging. And that's me and the people that I worked with. There's Garland, I'll put them up there, it's been a long train ride. They write about misfitting, where bodies and environments don't align, and it's kind of like that, but a social version of that. Part of the belonging I found in this work came from misfitting together with the people I worked alongside. By giving up trying to do the social dance right, you know, we could dance a dance that didn't have steps that were words or standardized forms of communication. And that sense of connection outside of belonging, and like a belonging outside of belonging, is most strongly shown in my field notes when I experience its loss. So there was a day when one of the people that I was working with wasn't there, and I wrote, without this person, I meet myself over and over again in awkward and jarring ways. I swim the wrong stroke. And it's that autistic awkwardness, it's data because I'm writing about it there, and these field notes are my data, but it's also analytic because it's how I'm understanding my experience as well, and it's showing how communication norms privilege certain groups of people over others. And my willingness to communicate differently is probably motivated by my lack of connection, my lack of success in neuronormative social spaces. Both obviously I remembered that one, suggests embracing autistic ways of being
initial navigation of me sometimes